Why do you need vitamin D? About 70% of us don't have enough vitamin D. It's important for a strong immune system. It can help prevent respiratory tract infections and can help fight off viruses. You can get vitamin D from being out in the sun or eating foods like salmon, eggs, or mushrooms. That's Medicine Explained.
Alright, it's time for the truth. The secrets of vitamin D that we all need to know. Okay, so let's make one thing very, very clear. We human beings are solar-powered animals, vitamin D. And the two things that you must know about vitamin D is first, it's not a vitamin, it's a hormone. And it's responsible for regulating hundreds of genes, especially to do with the immune system and our gut and gut microbiome. And second, it is our body's natural thermostat. Now, why is this important for you to know? Because most of us are indoors all day, every day. And when we're not getting enough sunlight, our vitamin D levels drop very low, and our bodies think that it's winter. Let that sink in for a minute. Most of our bodies think that it's living in a perpetual, permanent state of winter. And that, folks, is the punchline to why most of us have major health issues and are living with chronic autoimmune diseases. Check out part 2 to learn more. Okay, the secrets of vitamin D part 2 continued. So first we have to understand why we don't want our bodies to be in a permanent state of winter. So back when we were hunter-gatherers, we too evolved a hibernation setting, just like many other mammals all around the world. And this hibernation setting helped us make it through long, cold, foodless winters. And in this setting, we store fat, lower our metabolic function, and we shut down all non-essential energy function. This includes building muscle, repairing damage, and firing our immune system on all cylinders, including many other biological functions. So when our vitamin D levels are low, which is basically all of the time, we are literally on human power saving mode. Just like when your cell phone hits below 20%, it shuts down all non-essential functions until you plug it in and recharge it. And we work the same way. When we fall below 20 nanograms per milliliter of vitamin D, our bodies become susceptible to illness and disease. Check out part 3 to see how we can power ourselves back up. The secrets of vitamin D, part 3, the solutions. So how are we going to get fully charged with vitamin D3? Well, first we must understand that our immune system kicks in around 40 to 50 nanograms per milliliter, but we want to be well above that, around 60 to 80. And the best way to recharge ourselves is what our ancestors did, through direct sunlight. And it's worth mentioning that the sun has two rays, UVA and UVB. And UVB rays are what creates the synthesis of vitamin D3 in our skin. Unfortunately, it is also predominantly blocked by glass, so if you work next to a sunny window, you're not getting that vitamin D effect. The next best way is through vitamin D3 rich foods like fish, egg yolk, or offal, such as liver. And if you can't get vitamin D3 from the sun or foods, the next best thing is from supplements, and don't forget to take it with K2 or magnesium to get the best effects. And lastly, it's important to know that 40,000 IU or international units is equal to only 1 milligram. So 20,000 is half a milligram. And you can make 20,000 international units from just 30 minutes of sunlight. And take sunscreen if you're going to be in the sun for longer than 30 minutes and listen to your body.
5 signs you have vitamin D deficiency. Number 1, hair loss. Number 2, low immunity. Number 3, tiredness or fatigue. Number 4, anxiety or depression. And number 5, low bone density.
3 common causes of vitamin D deficiency: not enough sunlight, not enough vitamin D in your diet, the extremes of weight, either overweight or underweight.
Do you know your supplements? Let's get into vitamin D. First things first, vitamin D is a hormone. It means that it acts as a messenger. It controls genes that make estrogen. It's involved in embryo implantation, thus getting pregnant. And it supports your detox pathways as well as your antioxidant pathways.
Did you know that vitamin D can actually save your life? It's not only good for your bones, but can actually reduce your risk of colon cancer, breast cancer, and ovarian cancer. Just make sure you go outside every day to get some sunlight for at least 15 to 20 minutes and eat things high in vitamin D, such as salmon.
We need to talk vitamin D deficiency. Studies show that a third to half of the population are vitamin D deficient. Here's my most recent blood test for reference. As you can see, your girl's deficient. Now you're probably wondering why you need vitamin D in your life. Let me tell ya. Vitamin D is associated with increased risk of autoimmune diseases, cancers, cardiovascular disease, and even IBS. So now you want an action item. What do? You supplement. I just posted about vitamin D on my Instagram if you want to go check it out, to include 2 of the supplements that I recommend. Hope this helps.
5 warning signs of vitamin D deficiency. I think people underestimate how important it is to consume an adequate amount of vitamins and minerals on a daily basis for their health and weight loss. The last thing you want is a deficiency in any of the major nutrients, because it's going to end up causing lots of problems, so it's really great to structure a diet around hitting every nutrient. Please note that this is not medical advice, it's for informational purposes only, and if you feel like you have a problem, you should go to your doctor. The first sign of vitamin D deficiency is aching muscles. Vitamin D plays a critical role in the support of muscle function. The second sign is feeling sluggish or tired. If you always need that afternoon nap, then this could be a sign. The third sign is low moods. Vitamin D is very important for mood regulation, and this is why a lot of people have winter blues. The fourth sign is dizziness, and the fifth sign is reduced cognitive function. If you'd like the low sugar diet plan that I personally use, I'll tell you exactly what to eat to start losing weight and get healthy. Check out the link in my bio.
Hey guys, in this video I'm going to give you some quick tips to get better absorption from your vitamin D. I'm Dr. Robert. Some people call me Dr. Magnesium, and for good reason. Magnesium is actually first on my list. If you're deficient in magnesium, you're going to have a hard time converting inactive prohormone vitamin D from the sun, from supplements, from food, into its active form. Check the list above. You'll see it's a complicated process, but all these enzymes are actually magnesium dependent. So if you're deficient in magnesium, this is not going to work as well for your vitamin D absorption. Another thing to do when taking vitamin D is to take it with a meal. Vitamin D and vitamin K2 are some fat-soluble vitamins, so they need to be taken with a fat or a liquid delivery MCT oil to help it get better absorbed. Vitamin K2 works synergistically with vitamin D3 to get better assimilation and get better calcium absorption into the bones and out of the arteries where you do not want it. Other minerals to help with vitamin D assimilation and utilization are boron, which is another mineral like magnesium found in the soil or should be found in the soil. Last part is brand quality matters. Find the brand that's actually going to do the third-party testing so you know the exact amount that you're getting. I'm Dr. Robert, signing out. Have a great day.
Okay, so let's talk vitamin D, otherwise known as the sunshine vitamin, except technically it's not a vitamin, it's a hormone. A lot of research out there that correlates vitamin D levels and respiratory health, which makes sense because in the winter we're not out in the sun as much, and that's when we have flu season, or when we used to have flu season. But there's actually been a lot of studies correlating COVID survival rates and vitamin D levels. So it's really important to get your levels checked. You can do that through a simple lab test online. You want to be above 30 ideally. And if you are low and can't get out in the sunshine, you want to supplement with D3, not D2. It's the more bioavailable form. If you would like more tips like this, please hit that follow button, share this out, and I hope y'all have a great night.
Can you still get vitamin D even on cloudy days? You can, but not nearly as much as on sunny days. And that's one of the reasons why people get so sick during the winter. So I recommend people strongly consider taking vitamin D supplements anywhere from 1,000 or 2,000 IUs up to 5,000 IUs a day. And if somebody gets COVID, studies now show that if they take 60,000 IUs a day for 7 days, it dramatically reduces the risk of COVID as well as the duration.
You've heard me talk about vitamin deficiencies causing hair loss. This is exactly what it looks like.
Things your girl has learned from books. So we are still on This Is Your Brain on Food. And I am 10 out of 10 obsessed with this book. If nutrition and psychiatry had a baby, it would be this book. I am a huge foodie, and I love that you can use food to mitigate symptoms of mental disorders. So this book is just talking my language. But anyways, I'd like to talk about vitamin D. And I'm sure most people know that vitamin D is super important. Studies show that adults with depression and anxiety have low levels of vitamin D. And multiple clinical studies have shown that an increase in vitamin D can reduce your symptoms of depression and anxiety. So vitamin D is a neurosteroid, and a neurosteroid can cross the blood-brain barrier, which means that it can actually go into your brain cells. While vitamin D is in your brain, it decreases inflammation. And it decreases toxic destruction to your brain cells. It also increases nerve growth, which is essential for the survival of your hippocampus. And if you don't know already, your hippocampus is super important. Like and follow for more.
Did you know vitamin D is a hormone? That's right, we produce vitamin D when we're exposed to sunlight. And obviously, we haven't been getting a lot of that lately. What are the benefits of vitamin D? Well, one, it may help reduce symptoms of depression. Some other studies show it may help fight disease and build immunity too. And if you want strong teeth and bones, you'll need vitamin D to help properly absorb calcium. It's possible to find foods with vitamin D in them, but kind of hard to find it there naturally. So check out foods that are fortified in vitamin D, or take a supplement.
Vitamin D3 and K2, why do you need the two of them together? Okay, so you can take vitamin D3 without K2 and still be okay, but if you're going to do long-term supplementation with 5,000 IUs or more of vitamin D, you want to make sure you're getting enough vitamin K2. Your intestinal bacteria do produce vitamin K2, but we're not sure exactly how much your body needs, so it's just kind of a safety net, extra insurance to be taking some extra K2. Okay, and the best form is the vitamin K2 MK7. That's the one that has the longest activity in your body. That's the one you want to get, and you want to take between 100 to 200 micrograms per day. I typically take 200 micrograms per day. I live in Tucson, Arizona, so I get a lot of sunlight, so I don't always take vitamin D, but if your vitamin D is low, you want to make sure you're taking at least 5,000 IUs per day, even up to 10,000. If you have any questions, let me know.
Tips from a doctor. Now, we all know vitamin D can help with your immunity, but what type should you take? There are two types of vitamin D, vitamin D2 and vitamin D3. If you're buying the supplement over the counter, you're not really going to find vitamin D2, so just buy vitamin D3. There's very little difference between the two, and studies show that both increase vitamin D levels in humans. There is very little evidence to suggest that you need to take vitamin K with vitamin D in order to improve absorption. So like I said before, don't waste your money on additional supplements. You can get vitamin K in leafy green vegetables. And remember, always listen to your doctor. If they say you need additional vitamins, then take them. But I'm saying most people do not need them.
All right, so I talk a lot about hormones. Now, there's one hormone which you probably didn't even think was a hormone. It's been right under your eyes the whole time. Vitamin D is a hormone. And like I keep saying, a lot of us have a lot of insulin, which is too much of that hormone. Most of us have very little vitamin D. And why is that important? Well, vitamin D supplementation actually helps with insulin resistance. This study found how vitamin D supplementation was critical in insulin resistance. That's right, vitamin D deficiency can cause insulin resistance. And then we're prescribed drugs that lower cholesterol when cholesterol makes vitamin D. And look at that, most people in the world are vitamin D deficient. There's barely any green anywhere on the map. What a mess. So make sure you get that D.
Vitamin D. Why does it matter, and should you be taking supplements? Vitamin D is important for our bone health and also our mental health too. We get most of it from sunlight in the summer months. We get it from UV rays. But in the winter, the sun isn't strong. There's not enough vitamin D we can make from the sunlight. And therefore, we should consider supplements. This is the advice from the NHS. You should always check, however, with your doctor and pharmacist, because there's some conditions that mean you shouldn't take extra vitamin D.
Vitamin D को धेरै इम्पोर्टेन्स छ बडीमा एउटा त स्पर्म क्वालिटी चाहिँ राम्रो हुन्छ क्वान्टिटी क्वालिटी सबै राम्रो हुन्छ इफ भाइटामिन डी लेभल चाहिँ नर्मल रेन्जमा छ सो पुरुषको लागि पनि भाइटामिन डी नर्मल हुन चाहिँ इम्पोर्टेन्ट छ महिलाको केसमा पनि फर्टिलिटी इम्प्लान्टेसन देखि लिएर तपाईको फर्टिलाइजेसन सबै चाहिँ इम्प्रुभ देखिन्छ इफ भाइटामिन डी लेभल चाहिँ नर्मलमा छ इभन एउटा हार्मोन हुन्छ एन्टी मलेरियन हार्मोन एएमएच हैन यो एएमएच को जाँच हामी एक क्वान्टिटी थाहा पाउनलाई गर्छौं यो एएमएच को प्रोडक्सन को लागि पनि भाइटामिन डी हार्मोन को जरुरी हुन्छ सो भाइटामिन डी को लेभल चाहिँ नर्मल हुनुपर्छ फर गुड फर्टिलिटी आउटकम अनि इफ भाइटामिन डी लेभल चाहिँ इनएडिक्वेट छ भने चाहिँ फर्टिलिटी त कम हुन्छ प्रेग्नेन्सीमा पनि कम्प्लिकेशन्सहरु आउँछ जस्तो कि प्रेसर हाई हुने डायबिटिजहरु हुने सो त्यो प्रब्लम्सहरुबाट पनि अभोइड गर्नलाई चाहिँ कतिवटा कन्ट्रीमा चाहिँ अहिले प्रेग्नेन्सीमा आइरन क्याल्सियम चलाए जस्तै भाइटामिन डी चलाउँछन् बरु आइरन चाहिँ चलाउँदैन.
Does your sleep quality suck? Here's something to consider. Get your vitamin D levels checked. Vitamin D deficiencies are fairly common, and low vitamin D levels can impact sleep quality. I have a very hard time waking up and feeling rested in the morning, and after a couple days of taking vitamin D supplements, I actually do feel like I got a good night's sleep, and I'm able to wake up earlier and easier than I have in a long time. Like, it's actually kind of annoying. You can get vitamin D over the counter. It's fairly safe and unproblematic, but always check with your doctor, especially if you're on other medication. And yes, you could just spend more time outside, but wear sunscreen.
Instead of having to look at my face today while I talk about vitamin D, how about we do this instead? There we go. So Zoe and Jasper know all about vitamin D and the benefits, so they're laying in the sun. What about you? Do you know the benefits of vitamin D? So there are a ton of benefits of vitamin D, including helping build your immune system. It can help reduce depression. It can help with aches and pains, and it can help you sleep better. There was a study done back in 2012, so a little bit ago now, but it showed about 50% of people aren't getting enough vitamin D. I would imagine it's probably even more now just with everything with technology and more people on their phones and not going outside right now. So how do you get more vitamin D? There's some foods out there that have decent amounts, but not a lot, including salmon, eggs, shrimp, milk. But the best thing you can do is just get outside, get some sun, go for a walk, let your body absorb that vitamin D. And additionally, you could also go see your doctor and talk about maybe taking a vitamin D supplement.
Hi everyone, Whitney with Shiva. Coming back on the vitamin D TikTok we had a little while ago. So some of you had some questions. One of the questions was, what is the difference between vitamin D and vitamin D3? Real simple. All the vitamin Ds in every supplement that's over the counter is vitamin D3. It's called cholecalciferol, but that's all vitamin D or vitamin D3.
So, we're doing a video on the vitamin supplements I take. Let's go before I drop this. To start off, biotin. All my ladies know. All my ladies been known. Biotin for healthy skin, hair, and nails. For bone, teeth, muscle, and immune health, we have vitamin D3. 12, it helps support nervous system function. And if you have anemia, you're probably also taking it. Next up is my garlic pills, which significantly decrease oxidative stress, which is like common in people with high blood pressure. And that runs my family, so that's why. Maca root, which I was given by Girl Gains Co. Shout out to them, as a weight gain supplement. Now I can't speak much on that since I just started taking it, but on research that I've done myself, it is proven to improve physical performance and boost energy. Next up is my baby creatine. I take it to help build natural muscle. It is one of the world's most studied supplements. It's super cheap and natural, so love it.
Okay guys, hair loss secrets part 3. If you are losing your hair, I got you. In 2019, I lost nearly half my hair and I would cry every night, but I was able to grow it back using these tips, one of them being the correct vitamins for hair growth. So I'm going to list a couple important ones out. D3, it really wakes up your dormant hair follicles to make them grow. Biotin improves the elasticity of your hair. All cells in your body need vitamin A to grow, including hair. B12, it's super common to be deficient in, but it's really necessary for your hair to have rich blood flow sent to it. Selenium enhances your immune system, and B6 has been found to reduce hair loss in cases of alopecia. Now for some non-traditional ingredients, Brahmi, amazing, powerful Ayurvedic ingredient. Horsetail has silica and selenium to increase hair strength and shine. Stinging nettle has been known to have anti-inflammatory effects and balance hormones, and of course, the almighty turmeric or haldi. I love Hairdamin. It's a synergistic blend of bioavailable vitamins, minerals, and super antioxidants for stronger and longer hair. I take one a day. I will link my code in my bio.
Let's talk vitamin D3. Did you know that vitamin D deficiency is now a global public health problem and affects 1 billion people worldwide? Vitamin D is a hormone that is produced by the kidneys that helps control the concentration of calcium in your blood, and it is vital for helping you build strong bones. I am extremely deficient in vitamin D. It took nearly 2 years of tests. I was tested for cancer and lupus, and I finally went to a different doctor, and the first thing she did was to test me for deficiency of vitamin D. These are all symptoms that I experienced for a very long time. The hair loss was no joke. I was literally going bald on the sides of my head and even on the back. D also helps support brain, heart, teeth, and lungs. It keeps your immune system strong and helps regulate insulin levels. It affects your energy and mood. If you are deficient, it can make you a miserable person. If you are experiencing any of these symptoms, I highly suggest getting checked.